Shalom, like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Like get double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstones. Salutations to our sister Akim, pushes word out across the four corners of the world. Just a quick response video to Elder Apostle Gabar's channel, Daily Edification, Daily Exhortation 3. And the video title, New Wine Does Not Belong in the Old Bottle. And that's referencing to this Israelite sect by the name of One Body in Yahushai, based in Dallas, Texas. So lately with this particular Israelite group, mainly so with the head of that Israelite group, he's been pushing out a whole lot of wayward doctrines and just wicked vibrations amongst his congregation. So we was foretold this in the book of 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, by our forefather Apostle Paul, that in that time, referencing to these latter days, that men would not endure to sound doctrine, meaning that pure knowledge, the truth of the scriptures of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So now we are witnessing these different guys who call themselves Israelites and more so call themselves leaders or teachers amongst their different flocks or congregation. But here they are teaching these wayward doctrines. They're not enduring to sound doctrine. And this is the most imperative time for our people to hear the truth of the scriptures, especially in these times that we are coming into, the times of Jacob's trouble. So you can be spiritually equipped for the troublesome times that we are coming into. So new wine does not belong in the old bottle. And that leads me to the book of Luke, the 5th chapter and the 36th verse. And he spake also a parable to them, no man putteth a piece of a new garment upon an old. If otherwise, then both the new make it a rent, and the piece that was taken out of the new agreed not with the old. Verse 37, and no man putteth new wine into old bottles. And that wine is referencing to this pure knowledge, understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai via his holy word, the scriptures. And those old bottles are referencing to these old vessels, these different Israelites that call themselves leaders or teachers, but they are not enduring to sound doctrine. So they are likened unto an old bottle. And it says, else the new wine will burst the bottles and be spilled, and the bottles should perish. Which leads up with Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter, how 2/3 of our people have forsaken the fountain of living waters, going to the true understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and hewed them out of cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. So they cannot hold this true understanding, going to the true message and sound doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And it says, else the new wine will burst the bottles and be spilled, and the bottles should perish. So again, these bottles is referencing to these old Israelites, because you have a lot of these Israelites who call themselves teachers or leaders, but when it comes to a younger Israelite correcting them according to the scriptures, that's when that pride kicks in and they feel like they've been on earth longer than you have. You have no right to tell them what to do. They know more than you. But according to the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, if you're going off according to the scriptures, it's our job as watchmen, according to the book of Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, to warn our people and give them caution from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So a lot of these different old bottles are very prideful and stubborn, and they are very resistant when it comes to hearing sound doctrine. So that type of mindset, by being prideful, especially in these times that we're coming into, that's why it's stated right here, and the bottle should perish. Linking also up with the book of Psalm, the 55th chapter and the 21st verse, how bloody and deceitful men should not live out half their days, because you are misleading the flock. For the leaders of this people cause my people to err. So our big brother Yahushua, he was going through the same type of issues and madness amongst our people 2,000 plus years ago. And this is the book of John, the 8th chapter and the 42nd verse. Yahushua said unto them, if the heavenly Father Yahweh were your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from the heavenly Father Yahweh. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Verse 43, why do ye not understand my speech? And the reason why they cannot understand this true sound doctrine, going back to the book of Psalm, the 69th chapter, where our forefather King David made that prayer amongst 2/3 of our people, how it says, let their table become a snare before them, and that which should have been for their welfare, meaning having an understanding of this word for their benefit, it was going to become a trap or a snare unto them. So that's why 2/3 of our people cannot understand the speech of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. If our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. So 2/3 of the nation of Israel are totally lost in this setup. So Yahushua stated, why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? So Yahushua has angels actually spiritually blocking any type of spiritual understanding going to these old bottles, those old vessels. And that's the exact reason why they cannot be able to understand or hear the word of Yahushua. And here's the point in verse 44. Ye are your father, the devil, going back to that serpent in that garden, which had that same spirit as Esau Edom, that cunning and sly man. So it says, ye are your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. So it says in the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter, how none of the wicked shall understand. That applies to the main wicked, Esau Edom, these other nations, and also 2/3 of our people who want to be likened unto Esau Edom or these other nations. It says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So you have a lot of our people who call themselves Israelites, but they have that same type of spirit of vibration as Esau Edom, going back into that serpent, being sly and cunning, bringing out deceitful doctrines amongst their congregations, especially in these troublesome times that we're coming across. And that right there leads me to the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, the 4th verse. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. So his soul right here is referencing to Esau Edom, beginning with these elites, these international bankers. So we just read in the book of John, the 8th chapter, how ye are your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you would do. So 2/3 of our people had that same type of spiritual programming. They're spiritually wired up just like Esau Edom, the god of this world. And it says, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgressed by wine. And that wine is going to this pure knowledge, this true understanding of Yahushua via his holy word. So you transgress by wine, meaning you're trying to overstep the truth. And that's how you have 2/3 of our people in these latter days are doing the very same thing. They transgress by wine. They try to overstep the truth by stating things like the MOTB is not the RFID chip, or Herod the Great is an Israelite. Stating things like 2/3 of the nation of Israel will be destroyed forever. So by pushing out that wicked vibration, that falsehood amongst our people, they are saying that hell exists, which is nothing but a Jewish fable. And that leads me to the book of Titus, the 1st chapter, starting verse 13. This witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. And that's what we are doing as the hopeful elect, being those ambassadors of Shimbabasha. When we see something that's not aligning up with the true doctrine of Shimbabasha through the Spirit, we rebuke them sharply. That's only to exhort you so you can correct your ways and get right with Shimbabasha. And also to warn the flock, if they don't want to align with the truth of the scriptures, then mark them, which cause division. So at the end of the day, you think about it, what we are doing, we are cautioning you through the Spirit, to stay away from these types of guys. They're not leading you into the right direction. So it says, this witness is true, wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. Verse 14, not giving heed to Jewish fables. So by stating that Herod the Great is an Israelite, it's a Jewish fable. By getting upset and complaining that you're going to have Israelite men in these latter days are going to have the 100% truth that Yahushua has spiritually possessed them to have. Or by getting caught into your feelings and complaining to your congregation about you're not going to have men in these latter days are going to have 100% truth of the scriptures, that is a Jewish fable. By stating that Yahushua didn't do these miracles as is written according to the scriptures, those are Jewish fables. By saying 2/3 of the nation of Israel will be destroyed forever in the lake of fire, that is a Jewish fable. And fables are nothing but falsehoods and lies. So this Israelite sect by the name of One Body Yahushua, more so the head of this particular Israelite group, he's going to say that we're pushing out that vibration of Christianity. But every time you see them doing a video, they are saying Christ this, Christ that, which goes right back to what? Christianity. Then they're going to have the nerve to say 2/3 of the nation of Israel will be destroyed in a lake of fire forever. So they believe in the hell doctrine. which originates right back to Greek mythology. Then the Roman Catholic Church, along with the offspring of the Roman Catholic Church, going to these different church sects that we see today, they are pushing out these same wayward doctrines. And now you have guys who know they are Israelites in these latter days are giving heed to these Jewish fables. So not giving heed to Jewish fables, meaning these falsehoods, these lies, these wayward doctrines that's not aligning up with Yahweh Shimbabasha's word, and commandments of men that turn from the truth. And according to the scriptures, we're supposed to rebuke you sharply if you're going off with these wayward doctrines. Because if you read Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter and 7th verse, as it says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, meaning our bodies, and the spirit shall return to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua who gave it. So no matter what type of deeds you did on this earth before your departure, whether it be good or bad, every particular spirit, when the Heavenly Father calls it, it goes right back up to the spiritual realm. That's why he is known as the Father of Spirits. So how can you get a hell doctrine out of that? And let's link that with Zechariah, the 13th chapter and the 8th verse. And it shall come to pass in all the land, and that land is referencing to America known as Babylon the Great, said Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, 2 parts therein should be cut off and die, meaning 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to have a horrible death here in America. Those are ones of our people have forsaken the fountain of living waters. They want to make that covenant with Esau, Edom, which they are making the covenant with death. They want to partake into the image of the beast. Then those same particular individuals are going to accept his mark, going to the MOTB, the Karama. So the ones of our people in that mindset are going to die here in America. It says, but the third should be left therein. And that third is referencing to the 1/3 and the 144,000 men, the prophets. Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire. So right now you think about it in a spiritual sense. The hopeful elect are going through that fire right now. Those spiritual newts, catching the afflictions, the hell, the different adversities, the trials and tribulations. That's that fire we're going through, our different temptations that we had to go through in our different journeys. And it says, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is my power. So the hopeful elect represents that spiritual side. But 2/3 of our people who are likened unto their father, the devil, Esau, Edom, being that vessel of dishonor, being very carnal and tangible, always wanting some type of concrete evidence to believe something, so they are considered carnal. And we know by default that having a carnal mind is enmity with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So they're going to receive that carnal fire. And that's by the way of the fire from Yahushua coming back wet strong with the thousands of heaven. As it says, the Lord will come with fire and his chariots like a whirlwind. And also by the other fire, which is going to those nuclear missiles in the times of World War III. So that's how 2 parts therein should be cut off and die here in America. So again, this Israelite sect by the name of One Body Yahushua stated that 2/3 of the nation of Israel would be destroyed forever in the lake of fire. But let's see why forefather Micah stated through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And this is the book of Micah, the 7th chapter and the 18th verse. Who is a power like unto thee that pardoneth iniquity? So when you pardon something, meaning that you are releasing, you are forgiving an act of punishment or disfavor. So you're having mercy upon a particular individual or individuals by pardoning iniquity. So it says, who is a power like unto thee that pardoneth iniquity and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? Going right back into the word transgress, to overstep. So meaning that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he's going to look over the faults, the disfavors, the wickedness that the remnant of his heritage has done. Now it makes sense when you read the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter, referencing to the hopeful elect. It stated, in their mouth was found no guile, and they are without fault. So the hopeful elect is going to be just like Yahushua. And that's why Yahushua is going to make his elect, his first fruits, to be his joint heirs. So he's going to have mercy upon the remnant of his heritage. It stated, he retained not his anger forever because he delighted in mercy. Verse 19, he will turn again, he will have compassion upon us, he will subdue our iniquities, and thou wilt cast all their sins into the depths of the sea. So now it fulfills the prophecy of how the hopeful elect is going to make up out of here by the ways of the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Shimbabasha. You read the book of 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, it stated how in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, and how we should all be changed, meaning our bodies are going to be transformed from this vile body into that spiritual angelic body, those extraterrestrial bodies. It's going to be fashioned like Yahweh's body, Abaratazah. So the elect is going to be redeemed up out of here, and 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed by the lake of fire, which is true, but it's not going to be forever. The Most High stated right here, he retained not his anger forever because he delighted in mercy. So how can he state that he retained not his anger forever, he delighted in mercy, but he's still going to put a particular individual in hell forever, having them suffering forever? They'll make him a liar. And we know, as it says, that the Most High is not a man that he should lie. So what that means that the ones of our people, the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we are part of that great number, make up out of here, that we're going to bring back the ones of our people that died on this side. And that fulfills the prophecy in Romans 11 chapter and 26 verse, how all Israel should be saved. Because those particular ones of our people who partake into the image of the beast, they accepted the mark, they did all type of wicked deeds and acts, but they're going to come back into a new mind, into a new spirit, as it says in Ezekiel the 36th chapter. They're going to be the children of the first fruits, children of the immortals, children of the elect. So they're going to be all good. All their sins are going to be washed away. So he retained not his anger forever because he delighted in mercy. Verse 19 again, he will turn again, he will have compassion upon us, he will subdue our iniquities, and thou wilt cast all their sins into the depths of the sea. So the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through his son, Yahushua, is going to totally forget the sins of the nation of Israel. We're going to be like on a clean slate. Linking up again with Ezekiel the 36th chapter, how he's going to put a new spirit within us. He's going to take out that stony heart, and he's going to spiritually program us with that heart of flesh. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. Verse 20, thou wilt perform the truth to Jacob and the mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old. So it's becoming more evident that these guys are false leaders, false prophets amongst our people in these latter days, teaching all these wayward doctrines, these falsehoods, these Jewish fables, as it says, because it's not aligning up with the true sound doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So we're supposed to warn you through the Spirit. That's whether you hear or forbear. But at the end of the day, you cannot say you wasn't warned, you wasn't cautioned. Because the times that we coming into, you want to be all spiritually equipped as much as you can so you can withstand all these evil times. Jacob's trouble. It's very imperative for the ones of our people to have that ear to hear, to get away from these types of guys. So new wine does not belong in the old bottle. And I brought this out. You all was edified with that. You all keep pushing. Stay strong. Shalom.